Family is overrated. We give it too much importance, too much value, and too much definition in our lives. A lot of us know that we are controlled by the programming, by the beliefs that are in our subconscious mind. That these beliefs are formed in our first years of life, from about 7 years old, sometimes 9 years old, but it's those first years of life that our subconscious mind is mostly formed. And this then controls our lives because we don't know, we don't realize that our emotions comes from it, that our thoughts comes from it, that the way we see life and the way we see others and the way we see ourselves comes from it. So we get a lot of limitations, we get a lot of what is right and what is wrong, what we can do and what we cannot do because of these beliefs that we have inside ourselves. And this is the reason also why we get so attached to our families and why we get so frustrated with our families and why, especially why, we get in so negative relationships with our family. Why we get in these circles and these vicious circles and why we get in this negative kind of relationships where we don't really try to fix it, but we just get used to this, like how it is. Because with other people in our lives, when we feel that we're not treated kindly or the way we want, the way we expect, we normally put brakes on it. Like we say, I don't like you anymore, I don't want you anymore, this is what is okay for me and this is what is not. And I say normally because, of course, not everybody does this, or I think nobody really does this like 100%. But some people, they tolerate like being mistreated and being even bullied by other people because, well, their belief system is really, really damaged. But when it comes to family, if we think that our belief system is formed in our first years of life, so let's say a child, since she's born until 7 years old, she's totally dependent on her family. She cannot survive, or at least in the first year she cannot survive, but with 7, some may say, okay, she could already survive, or with 5, but that's not what we are taught, right? We are taught that we cannot survive without them. And we also at that age, we need the love. We need the love of the family. We need the acceptance, that they accept us. We need that they make us feel important, that they make us feel seen. Because that's what a child needs. That's the basic needs of a child. The child doesn't need much more. He doesn't need to be successful. He doesn't need to accomplish anything. He just needs to be loved and to be seen and to be valued and to feel safe, right? To feel that she has all those basics that she needs. And for all that, she needs the family. That's why it's also so efficient, let's say, for a mother to say, when she wants the child to behave, to say, I don't love you anymore if you do it like that. Or threatening her, like, oh, if you do that, you're a bad boy, so I'm going to leave you there and a bad man is going to come and is going to take you, right? And because this scares the child, and this is the way for the child to behave. So the child learns to that she needs this, and for the way to have it is to be loved and is to be liked and to act a certain way, because if not, she's gonna lose this. And this affects the way also that this child then grows up and behaves with everybody else. Like most people tend not accept who they are and try to be something else just because they are searching for that approval on others. So that is very common. But with family is more than that. It's really like, it's why you get to a certain age and you can see that, okay, damn it, this is not good for me, you know. This kind of is a toxic relationship. I'm tired of going there and being those people when we're always fighting, or we're not getting along, or I don't like the way they treat me, or I don't like the way that they don't let me be who I want myself to be. But still, I cannot leave them. And when I say leave them, I'm not saying leave them like leave them, take them out of our lives. I mean, leave them emotionally, right? Not get that attachment to them. But we have that need for that, for them to be part of our lives, for them to love us and for them to accept us. And that is our biggest need, and the one that most damage cause on ourselves. Because it comes from that, like, again, our programming is made on those first years, and on those first years we need that, and that is the most important thing for us. That's what we learn that is important for our well-being and for our survival even. So when we are grown-ups and we kind of know the right and wrong of things, we still let ourselves be in those situations and accept more than we should, because inside we need that, and we need to accept that, and we keep wanting them to treat us a different way and see us a different way. And the thing is, probably they never will, because everybody has their own mindset, and everybody has their own programs and beliefs, and everyone has their own way of seeing things. And they have their way and we have our way, and why do we need others to see us the same way? It's not going to happen. So if we need them to agree with us for us to be okay and for us to be right, we're going to have a problem. Also, if we need them to see us and to say that we matter and that we are important and that we can do big things when they think different, then it's another problem. And this is I believe that is the main reason for lack of self-esteem, because normally the family ones is the ones that they learned also who we are many years ago, and we grow up and we develop and we create new dreams and we create new ways of being and other things that we want for ourselves, and we can feel inside that we can be more and more and more. But the other ones always want us to keep a certain way. They want to have us the way that they know we are, or they think we are. So this gets a conflict when we give too much importance to family, to what they think and the way they feel about us, because then we're giving away our power. And we need to set free from that. And the first step is really saying, you're not that important in my life. You're not. And at this moment, are you a person that I like being with, that I'm having fun being with, that I enjoy being with, that when I'm around, I feel myself motivated and I feel myself being boosted and feeling good? Or the opposite, every time I'm with you, I'm feeling drained and I'm feeling pulled down and I'm feeling and things that I wanted to do, I don't want them to do anymore, and now I doubt myself, and now I don't know if I can do it, and all that. Maybe you're a toxic person for me. Maybe you're not the best person to be around me. And of course, we know that this is a personal work from everybody to work this inside themselves. It's never the other one that is wrong, because like I said, everyone has their own opinion, everyone has their own point of view, and only the one can change himself. So we cannot change others, and we not even should want to change others, but we can change ourselves and figure out what works for us. So of course, what we want is to work in the path of setting ourselves free and being okay with us having an opinion and having a feeling and seeing ourselves a certain way, and the other person having a different opinion and seeing ourselves in a different way, and that being okay, That doesn't make the other one wrong, but does not make the other one right either, you know what I mean? Because we always tend to see like, okay, if you're right, then I have to be wrong if you're not in the same page. But if we understand that everybody's right, then it's okay. But this is a work that we do internally in ourselves to get that freedom, because when we get to that point, then it does not matter. It does not matter what the other one thinks or not, and how the other one sees us or not. But until we get there, we need to learn also to get away from it. If you're around a person and that person hurts you, again, it's not the other person that is hurting you, you're doing that to yourself. But okay, but that's how you feel. The other person is hurting you, and the other person is not giving you the value that you feel that you have, or the other person is not seeing you the way that you want her to see you. And it's those little things that the other person says and doesn't say, and the way it looks, and the way you have an idea and the other one is like, kind of like, you can never do that, things like that. You need to learn, like, while that still, you can feel that emotion building in you, you need also to say, okay, this is a toxic person for me. This is not a person that is good for me to be around. And also understanding, like I was saying, that feeling that keeps pulling you and making you feel that you have to and that you must be there because it's your obligation and all that, is nothing like that. It's not because you have obligation or it's your family so you have to. It really comes from that need, from that child that feels that she needs those people. She needs those people for her survival. She needs those people for her safety. She needs those people to be loved. So no matter what, that's why you stay there. And again, this is the biggest ones, the biggest persons in our life that we have this kind of relationship is with our family, because again, it comes from our first years. And then many people, they do that also with their person that they're with, the husband or wife or whatever, or even friendships, or some people, they do this with everybody, they keep wanting to get this protection and this love in others, and so they tolerate more than they should. They allow others to treat them in a way that is not the best for them. And again, is not, sometimes this way that people treat us bad is by saying really nasty and bad things to us, and saying you're even if it's saying things like, oh, you could never do that, and you're not capable, you're not good enough, that is not for you, and things like that. But sometimes they say really nasty things also in a more subtle way, in a way that they're not really saying, but you can feel what they mean in what they are saying. And sometimes that is those things that the most damage cause inside of us. And if we want freedom for ourselves, the first step is to set ourselves free from our family and figuring out what is good for us and what is not, and what is the relationships that we want to be in and not, and realizing that we don't need anybody to be free, and we don't need anybody else to be safe or to be loved. That has to come first from inside of us. And what happens when we get that inside of us, and when we believe that for ourselves and we don't need the others to give us that, is that when that feeling is inside of us, that is our emotion, then that's what we radiate. And eventually the other ones are gonna see that in us. But that has to come first from us. If we want to get that from others, and the other ones are not giving that to us, then we don't feel it. we don't feel it. The feeling that we are transmitting is that we don't have. If we don't have, that's how the other one sees us, that we don't have enough, that we don't have enough courage, that we don't have enough self-love, that we're not enough, right? So this is my message. Family is not what we think it is. Family is not supposed to be with us forever. Everybody is an individual, and we should look at everybody as an individual and see the part that they have in our lives, and feel that how important it is, and how much we want it to be in our lives or not at this moment. Every moment is a moment, and every moment can change from one moment to another.